Hello there, fellow masters. Alberto here, and we're going to be finally talking about the Journey to the West review. I hope you guys are excited, because I am. For those who are new to the channel and new to these series in general, we break down four things in this event review. How the story goes, if it's entertaining or not, if it's enjoyable. The gacha, because we always need to bring up the gachas and the banners and the blah blah blah. The shop, is all the rewards that we do for all the grinding, like, is it worth it? And then the grind itself, is it an easy grind? Is it a tough grind? Is it slow? Is it fast? Is it fun? That's the important part. So, let's just jump right into it and the story. First off, we start in Da Vinci shenanigans. Well, not Da Vinci, but Chaldea shenanigans. We get basically forcibly race shifted into the story of Journey to the West, as we take the place of Sun Wukong, the first disciple of Sanzo's triad, not including her, him. Anyway, joined later by David and Li Xuan. And also Lu Bu, the horse, because secretly deep down we all love Lu Bu. And yeah, we help Sanzo on her journey to enlightenment, just like in the original story of Journey to the West. Honestly, I give this an A. For those who don't know news streams, I'm don't really actually like put up the grades of each different thing. I say the grades and then I average it up, skewing either high or low depending how I feel about the whole event in general. I give the story an A. It's a really high rating just because it's very simple. It's typical shenanigans. It could have been translated better. I felt like the one thing I don't like about Fate Grand Order, the translation, is you don't really feel like you're making the choice. It's like both answers will lead to the same thing, and that's what kind of happens now and again. But some of the cheekiness going on kind of gets around that. Like, for me personally, I really love cheeky dialogue. If you turn into my streams, when I was playing through the main story, I was picking all the cheeky ones or the sarcastic ones because it's me, and that's just the type of person I am. But all in all, even though it still had some translation issues and stuff, and it was a little bit short for my taste, this is surprisingly one of the shorter stories. And it's much more focused on the grind itself. But I still give it an A. It's short, but it doesn't. It always still fills my belly with laughs. Next, we're going to talk about the gacha. I'm going to be talking about this one for a while, for a good hot minute. I hope you guys pull your Badonka monks or Sanzos, because I sure didn't. And I am the depressed, so this gets an F. Okay, and in all seriousness, let me get my script back up. In all seriousness, this gacha is amazing if you think about it in the long run. The raid up servants are really good. If knowing the 3 stars in David and Lu Bu as being raid ups, the craft essences have potential to be really good craft essences. The 4 and 5 stars, because they all focus on MP strength, which some not bad craft essences do have an MP buff. Like Heaven's Field is, I believe, a 60%. It just does that MP, and if you max Limit Break, it's an 80% buff, which is pretty good. But this does that and more other things, like a critical strength up or a Buster card up, stuff like that. It's really, really interesting. I feel like people aren't going to be really talking about those until like maybe later on in the year, or maybe even next year, because those craft essence are definitely worth in my eyes. But and plus they're just really good for farming the event as per usual at these banners, craft essences. But I really want to talk about the 2 raid up servants, Li Xuan and Sanzo. We'll talk about Sanzo in a bit, but Li Xuan is surprisingly really good. He's supposed to be one of the rarer servants just because he doesn't have as much of a raid up as every other servant in the game. And he's surprisingly powerful for a 4-star. Like, when I personally pulled him, I pulled him an MP3 just because my luck hates me that way. I only want, like, MP1 servants, so when I get MP3 and I don't get any of the servants from the banner I want, kind of irritates me a little bit, because I don't care about the whole max limit breaking MP2, MP3 stuff. But I can go into how my luck works later. That's a whole other video in itself. But Li Shwen is surprisingly really good. He's good at what he does, and that's arts-based damage. He has 3 arts cards, if I'm correct. 3 arts cards, 2 buster, 1 quick. Or is it... No, I think it's the other way around. 1 buster, 2 quick, 3 arts. I'm going to go confirm that here in a millisecond. But it's like, it's one of those things where... like, he's just so good. He just produces damage. He'll one-shot, like, Arjuna or any other type of archer boss, or even berserker boss. He's so big. His skills help him out. He's got the invade for the noble phantasms. He has a sure hit if someone does, like, evade or something like that. And he also has a ignore invincibility, which is always good. Plus, it boosts up his art card effectiveness, which is not just good for his noble phantasm, but it gives him his noble phantasm faster. Oh, and by the way, this card is 2 quick, 2 arts, 1 buster. I gave him an extra arts card when he shouldn't have, but he's still really good. He's got one of the higher attacks as a 4-star, let alone a 4-star lancer, and he just can wreck face as a 4-star, which is amazing, especially for a class like Lancer that doesn't really have that much good representation. Not to mention his, just everything else about him is really cool. Anyway, next we have to talk about Sanzo, who I wailed for in this game. Not gonna lie, I recently got a job. I spent a good chunk of my paycheck. I could have spent more, but I didn't. That I might do more depending on donations and how my next paycheck is looking out. But regardless, Badonkamok, Sanzo Xingxiang Sanzing, or whatever you pronounce it, is in my opinion is one of the best damage caster servants. Honestly, in my opinion, she's one of the better servants in the game. Honestly, in my opinion, she's got the whole package, right? She's got first off, she's an art servant, which is really good. I believe she's 1 quick, 3 arts, 1 buster, just like most typical casters. But she has a buster noble phantasm. She has a rapid MP gain rate and a noble phantasm strength up as a skill. She has whatever reason she has a taunt, but that's okay because that gives her a what's it called, a damage cut buff, which is always nice. If you're going to have someone target, if you're not going to target someone else and you're going to target self, you might as well give yourself a damage cut, and that's really nice. Plus, she has a generic MP gain up for, I believe, the whole party. Like, that's ridiculous. That's awesome. The only other servant we've seen is a give me servant in Nobu, and it's just the fact that it's amazing like that. And it's up to 30% MP gain at max level. Holy crap, man. Plus her animations, like for her Noble Phantasm, is sweet. Like, how can you not love that Noble Phantasm animation? It's amazing. Honestly, I might roll for her more, but if she is not enough to make you roll for her in this banner, I don't know what else to say. This is like, if I could give it, I would give it a A+ if I would have pulled her. But it looks like, I don't know, either my luck is really bad or not that many people I've seen pulled her, even though she's on rate up. So once again, I'll say this like I do in every banner I try to wail for. Rate up is a lie, but Gotcha still gets an A because even though I didn't get what I want, it's still a really good banner. Regardless. Next, we're going to talk about the shop. The shop is actually surprisingly really worth it, in my opinion. Now, there's you can buy hearts. Now that we have the second week unlocked to us, we can buy a crystallized lore with the lotus flowers and stuff, Grand Lotus and stuff. We just got a bunch of other skill ups, skill and ascension items that we've been kind of lacking lately, but it's in the shops, like feathers, the black grease, which I believe you needed some grease for Badonkamok to get her ascended. I'm not actually sure, but I haven't used any, so I currently have like 30 from the past 2 or 3 events that I've saved up. So when I get when I get a good 5-star, they will be ready like day one. But it's just really good stuff. Now, and gears, like, you don't know how long it. When I first got Nero Claudius, for those who don't know, um, who can't see on screen, Nero is like my favorite character. It took me forever because I just didn't have the internal gears, so I had to grind for like 3 days just to get them, and that's ridiculous. Now I have like 50 something after this event. That's crazy. But yeah, definitely worth to at least grind a little bit on the shop and get not just the XP stuff, but the skill ups and ascension items. Really, really good shop this is. I give it a solid B plus. And now the grind. Now consider that we just got the second half of the grind unlocked to us for whatever reason. They didn't unlock it at first. I don't know why they did that. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing that they did in the original JP server, but I still don't understand it personally. I was already halfway done with more than halfway done with the grind, to be completely honest. Part of it is because I wailed a little bit, but even then, if you just save up your divine pills and stuff and get the craft essences for the more talismans at the shop, you can blow past this event very quickly and just grind on the final, using all the talismans you saved up from after you do the story and stuff. Grind on the final level using the 100 talismans, and the grind wasn't really that bad. Now I just started the second half today at work during my lunch break, so I can't really talk about that one too much, but it's literally copy and paste from the first half, just with different items. So so it shouldn't be that difficult either. You just copy and paste the same thing from the first. I had originally put this as an A, but just because we had to wait a solid week and stuff for it, and it's a copy paste from the previous start of the event, just with different items. I'm gonna give it a B. Like the grind is all right. Does take a bit to start, but it also takes a bit to finish. Surprisingly, the middle part is actually fast, which is not typical of most grinds, which is a good thing that this picks up in the middle. And finally, for the final grade, honestly, this is probably my best event the best event yet. Honestly, obviously that's gonna change when the Summer Servants comes out and that event comes out. Whoo-wee! If y'all think if I thought I wailed, I am going to wail for that gacha. Holy crap! I'm putting a whole separate funds for that. But nonetheless, this is about Journey to the West. Honestly, I give it an A. Personally, I mean, the story is cute and it's kind of cheeky. The gacha is amazing. The shop is not the best, but it's pretty up there. And the grind isn't as bad as people think. I know a lot of the other big Grand Order streamers is like, oh, get ready for the big grind. Journey to the West and Sanzo and Badonkamunk. But like, the grind is actually not that bad if you know how to approach it. I am used to grinding just because I play a lot of JRPGs, and I'm assuming most people have played JRPGs before that play Fate Grand Order. So I'm assuming that y'all, if y'all have any experience with like any type of very hard JRPGs, for example, a lot of Atlas games, like the Shin Megami Tensei series especially. Oh my god, I grinded for a week in Shin Megami Tensei, the original 4th game. That was nuts. But yeah, I mean, this grind isn't as bad as it thinks, just because it has a lot of items and stuff, and a lot of different ways to grind for these items. Like, you have to go in order, you have to grind these talismans before you grind efficiently everything else, which is fine, you're still pretty set with everything. So yeah, I don't think the grind is that hard. So overall, I'll give this Journey to the West event an A. Hopefully we get more stuff like this in the future. And that about sums it up for me, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed it. Let me know if you pulled Badonkamunk and rub it into my face. I love it when people bring up servants that I try to wail for that I didn't get, but they did off of a YOLO ticket. I love that. Let's put that in the chat. Also, let me know what you think of this event in general. Hope Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm Alberto, and I'll see you guys on stream.